Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have another one of these like comparing videos. I mean, I actually went to just make a DIY on this little guy, but then I realized I'd already made one and figured that I would just do like one of the compare videos compared to the one that I made this time last year and this like pastel-y coloured one that I made today. So basically I'm going to give you the DIY on this one and just compare it to this one at the end. So to get straight in with the DIY, I just took a piece of density foam and just drew out a rough kind of semicircle shape. What I then did was just flatten down the top and then brought in the top on either side, making it into a nice thinner point into the middle of the semicircle shape. I just wanted to recreate more of a watermelon slice like you would actually see, rather than kind of like a weird half semicircle shape like I did on my other one. So I wanted to make it a little bit more lifelike, kind of almost like a banana-y type shape. I basically just kept smoothing out and going over and over the bits that I had already done and just making it nice and smooth. Now you don't have to be really smooth with this, you just keep going until you want to basically stop and you're happy with your shape. So what I did was took some white puffy paint mixed in with a tiny bit of PVA glue and just spread this all over the shape. I always use a white base first, as this really helps so that the layers of the actual colour can sit on top of this paint rather than sinking into the sponge, and this is what helps really get a nice finish of puffy paint rather than just kind of dyeing the sponge colour. And it also helps with the slow risiness of it too, so I always put this white layer on just, you know, as a primer almost. Once the white puffy paint mixture had fully dried, I then moved on with some pink scribbles paint and just drew out another semicircle shape on one of the sides. What I did was just covered this in pink and just used my like lollipop stick to kind of spread this out. I just did squiggles of this and then just basically just smoothed it out and made it nice and round edges and just really worked it into the paint that I'd already put on there, and I did this on both of the sides so that the pink semicircle was all the way around. So once the pink was fully dried, I then went ahead and mixed a pale green puffy paint mixture, and basically I just did loads of white puffy paint with a tiny bit of the green scribbles mixed in. I then painted this on to act as the watermelon skin, and I actually did 2 layers of this in total, which you will see the second layer in a moment. Now this green really is starting to show up a little bit better on camera, but it's really hard to pick up against the white, but this is a really lovely mint green colour. Now obviously this isn't very lifelike, I just really like kawaii colours and lots of pastels, so I just played around with that. If you want to make this DIY, you can make this any colour that you want to. I know on my last comparing DIY video people like the realistic colours a little bit better, but I kind of like the pastel ones, so I just did what I wanted to do because, you know, you do you. As you can see here, once that layer of green was fully dry, I just went ahead and added another coat like I said. Now for this coat, I didn't actually work it into the sponge as much. I made a much thicker coat with my lollipop stick and really just smeared it on kind of like butter. Making a few thicker kind of coats really helps with the slow risiness of it, as it allows the bubbles to kind of be sealed up and the air to not release as fast. Once the second layer of green was fully dry, I then went ahead and mixed up another pink colour. This I used the scribbles, and I added a little bit of blue also, just to make it a little bit more like toned down, as the pink was a little bit too neon for my liking. Now this is where the sun began to play a massive problem with my video today, and it was just going absolutely wild, going in and out and in and out, so I'm super sorry for the lighting here, but I figured I would still keep this clip in to kind of show you what I was doing. So basically once that pink was still wet, I then went in with the white puffy paint and just squeezed out loads and made a white layer all the way around between the skin and the pink bit that we just put on. Once this was all completely dry, I then went ahead and just painted on a little face with some black puffy paint and my dotting tool. I did 2 eyes to begin with and then a mouth in between, and I also added 3 little watermelon seeds to the very top of the watermelon's like head. Next, in order to avoid the sun, I actually changed rooms to see if that would help, but then the lighting went really strange. But anyway, I added some highlight to the eyes, and also to the blush of the cheeks, I added a paler pink. And well, that's the end of the DIY section of this video. Here's the 2 squishies. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I don't think that they're showing up on camera the proper colours that they are. This one here is a really kind of dark and weird colour. It's also really ruined, and I'll get into that in a second. This one here is really pastel. It's really hard to show the colouring of this because the sun's out right now, and that's the major reason why this video just completely messed up. But anyway, I'm just gonna roll with it. Yeah, so let's give these a squish. As you can see, they're both the same. This one here was made with density foam and this one here was made with memory foam. No real reason as the difference. I just used what I had on the day. Now this one here, I don't know what happened. It's like it's all molded together ever since, and there's like a bit here which is white. I don't know what happened. I obviously must have run out of this green colour that I was putting on, but I just don't know what happened to it. So I figured I had to make a new watermelon, and this is why I made this one today. I mean, I'm really in love with this one. The green just isn't showing up on camera, which is really disappointing, because this is a really nice like pale green. I'll show you it up against this kind of scribbles here. I don't know, you can't really see it. Hopefully you'll be able to see it in the DIY that I filmed earlier a bit better. Like you can kind of see it here in the shadow a little bit better. It's kind of like a pale mint green, but it's really lovely. It's really soft. Like I don't know why this squishy is so soft. This one here is really dense, and just, yeah, it just feels really good. Now on the back of this one, I didn't actually put any watermelon seeds. On this one, I obviously did. No preference for it. I just couldn't really bother to paint them on. But I'm really happy with how they both turned out. I absolutely love this one so much more than this one. I feel like this is definitely my old style, and now I'm more kind of into the pastel kind of colours. But it's just a shame that you can't really see it on camera. Maybe when I edit this back you can see it a little bit better in a few parts. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Bye!